Hey, what's going on?
How y'all doing?
301 Colored Commentators, back for episode number 10. Yep.
Yes, sir.
Today, we are going to talk about two things, actually.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the movie The Wrestler. We figured we can kill two birds with one stone by talking about a wrestling topic and a movie about pro wrestling.
Right.
Yeah. And secondly, we're going to talk about the Shaka Zulu 1986 TV series.
Yeah.
The 10-episode series that aired.
Yeah.
So what you been up to?
Well, not much. Trying to close, the fiscal year.
Yeah.
Work, just a lot of work, and I guess transitioning into fall.
Which we pretty much are in.
Pretty much are, yeah. So it's been cool, busy, but good, man. How about you?
It's busy as hell too.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for. I want a real winter this year, actually. Yeah.
We had a mild
cold.
one last year, huh?
What's up?
We had a mild one by our usual standards last year, right?
Yes, we had a mild one. Yes, indeed, we did.
I think we even had a mild summer, actually, to be honest.
This summer was too short, to tell you the truth.
It wasn't that hot, and it didn't seem that long.
Nah.
But yeah. I feel you, man. Anything new?
New?
Yeah, on your side, or are you listening to anything cool?
What's the last cool thing I bought? What's the last good thing I bought?
Yeah.
Now I'm just banging away at the past, mostly. Like right now, in my music rotation in my car, it's all Def Jux records. LP from Run the Jewels, Cannibal Ox, Mr. Liff. That label's gone under, but they still put out some dope shit when they were still active.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What time frame is this? Are we?
2001 through 2006. Those are the time frames of the albums that are in my car.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been listening, Afro beats. My man Asake
Of course.
dropped an album just like about a month ago. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been that's been on rotation. He's coming to the DMV today, actually.
Oh yeah.
I can't make it to today's concert. He's gonna be in Baltimore next month, so I'm gonna try and mess with that
Got you.
for sure.
Got you.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely check that out. What else? Trying to remember. Yeah, that's basically the main one that I've been listening to. And then little singles here and there.
Mm-hmm.
This chick named Amari Noel I discovered over the summer.
Yeah.
She has some pretty cool songs. She's up and coming.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely check out the Asake album. It's called Mr. Money with the Vibes. If you haven't heard it, it's definitely a vibe, to say the least. But yeah, that's about it, man. That's about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and shout out to Florida too. I mean,
Yeah.
all y'all that are down there, we got friends and family that are down there right now.
Yeah.
Stay safe, keep your heads up. I know that's kind of cold comfort to hear, but I wish y'all all the best.
For sure. And also rest in peace, Coolio.
Oh yeah, Coolio,
Yeah,
rest
yeah.
in peace.
For sure.
Yeah, big staple of my middle school years, 6th and 7th grade.
Yeah, 100%. I was actually still in Ghana when Coolio was in.
Yeah?
Yeah. So Gangsta's Paradise and Fantastic Voyage or whatever.
Yeah, Fantastic Voyage, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he dropped his other singles after Gangsta's Paradise, Too Hot, Gotta Get Up to Get Down.
Yeah, that's the one. And remember, I'll see you when you get there. I was here when that came out.
Yeah.
I was definitely here.
I remember when that came out. Yeah,
Yeah.
they used that in the ending credits of that Martin Lawrence movie, Nothing to Lose.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, rest in peace to him. And yeah, everybody in Florida, stay safe and positive. I know a lot of you have lost power, to say the least, and even like
some of y'all don't even have shelter.
I was about to say, like, your homes are destroyed and stuff. So hopefully, like, insurance covers it more than likely, but there's still a big inconvenience. So
And all y'all that are having hurricane parties, get the hell out of there now.
Yeah,
that's just dangerous.
That's wild, man. It's wild. But yeah, man. Yeah. Stay safe.
Yeah, stay safe.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so should we get right into it?
Let's do it.
All right. The first topic, The Wrestler. Released in 2008, it was the fourth film directed by Darren Aronofsky, who directed Requiem for a Dream and also later directed Black Swan. Like I said, released in 2008. It stars Mickey Rourke, Marisa Tomei, and Evan Rachel Wood. Mickey Rourke, he stars as Randy the Ram Robinson, an aging professional wrestler who, despite his failing health and waning fame, continues to wrestle in an attempt to cling to his success of his 1980s heyday. Yeah. He also tries to mend his relationship with his estranged daughter, played by Evan Rachel Wood, and find romance with a woman who works as a stripper, Marisa Tomei, who's also past her prime.
Yeah.
Let me see. It's a movie is set in New Jersey. You have various parts of Jersey, but it makes Jersey look so depressing. Like trailer parks, rundown dollar stores and supermarkets. Yeah.
Yeah, no shade, but...
no shade on Jersey, but they make it look
no
bad.
No shade, but I'm not even a fan of Jersey, dog. But yeah.
I thought New Yorkers hated Jersey.
They probably do.
They do.
I'm not a fan of Jersey for my own personal reasons. It's just one of those states that is just weird.
Personally, I like New Jersey women. They can curse more than I can.
Yeah, I actually know a fair share of Jersey women from college, so
yeah, me too.
Shout out to them.
That's why I learned.
Yeah, shout out to them. But your state, good luck with that.
What else? Yeah. To add more realism to the movie, they had several locker room scenes with Mickey Rourke and other real-life pro wrestlers, like, who was it? The Necro Butcher, Tommy Rotten, Ernest the Cat Miller.
Jimmy Powers, I remember.
Jim Powers from the Young Stallions, yeah. Johnny Valiant.
I remember Johnny Valiant too, yeah.
Yeah, and the scene where Randy goes to wrestle Tommy Rotten in that banquet hall or whatever, yeah, they made it look so... They had it look like they were socializing. So when Randy came in, he's able just to gel with them, and look as if they were actually socializing. And some of the scenes where he was working in the deli, right?
Oh yeah.
Those were real customers in there too. That's a real supermarket.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, he improvised. Those were improvised because Aronofsky was filming while Rourke was actually working there.
Yeah. Oh, Ernest the Cat Miller, isn't that the dude that became like commissioner at one point, or WCW was about to fold?
Ernest the Cat Miller?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was in that Bash at the Beach.
The joke we did last episode.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he was in that. What else? Marisa Tomei plays a stripper in here named Cassidy. That's her stage name. Her real name is Pam. And she's past her prime, so much so that Marisa Tomei was actually she had to take 36 takes in order to get her pole dancing right.
Oh, wow.
But in many ways, hold on, backtrack. The film was a critical success. I mean, commercially, I don't think it did all that well considering how indie it was, but it's credited with revitalizing the career of Mickey Rourke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because up until that point, he was doing indie films, and I remember Rourke from the 80s when I was a kid. I remember seeing him in The Pope of Greenwich Village, Angel Heart, and Johnny Handsome, right? And he was a pretty dude back then.
He was a shadow. In this joke, he was a shadow of what he used to look like, huh?
Yeah, because he went into boxing at one point and a botched plastic surgery job to prepare some injuries.
That's exactly what happened to his face.
Yeah.
He definitely looks like he's been under the knife a few times.
And he don't even sound the same neither. Let's all take a shower together, you guys. When back in the 80s, he'd be like, oh, I'm really sorry about that. Yeah, he don't even look like how he used to or sound like. He's like the Fly, a genetic mutation.
Yeah, for sure.
But dude can still act. I will say that. He can act his ass off.
I'll give you that.
And so can Marisa Tomei. I mean, people knock her because she got her Oscar in the 90s for a comedy with My Cousin Vinny, but she can act too.
That's a classic movie.
And it don't hurt that she's still fine as hell. Like, y'all see No Way Home, Spider-Man No Way Home, where she played Aunt May?
Yeah, she is in there. That's right.
Yeah, thanks to her, Aunt May is now a MILF.
Yeah, you from what I remember, you've been a fan of her since we were young. For sure.
My Cousin Vinny.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's Mickey Rourke, his career kind of parallels Randy the Ram. I mean, he was big in the 80s, but then went downhill right after that. And he's looking for a big break to get back into public consciousness, that is. What else? And plenty of wrestlers, their careers mirrored Randy the Ram as well, too.
Absolutely.
Scott Hall, before he passed away,
he
was well on his way to becoming Randy the Ram, if not for DDP helping him out with his yoga, his help and whatnot.
Yep. I think with Jake the Snake, was he influential in getting him back on his feet too, or no? It was just DDP.
I think Jake the Snake, or rather DDP helped Jake the Snake.
Ah, okay, the other way. Okay. That makes sense.
Because I heard rumors back in the day that Jake the Snake, he trained Diamond Dallas Page and Raven.
I could see Raven because
The DDT, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe you're right. Yeah, maybe you're right. But yeah, you're right. Like, especially in my experience watching the movie late, like, because I hadn't seen it until now. And like, now that if I had watched it when it first came out, I'd have been like, wow, this is kind of heavy.
Yeah.
But then now, watching it today, knowing a lot about behind the scenes of the wrestlers we grew up liking and how I won't even call it trajectory, but like plummet their path, the plummeting path that their life took and the hard times they kind of experienced, even till death.
Yeah, man.
It's not too surprising. It's very real. The movie is actually very realistic. So I wasn't even like depressed or shocked or anything because it like mirrored a lot of like some of these superstars that we looked up to as kids in real life.
I saw when it first came out, and looking at it now, it can be viewed as a period piece. About the early 2000s of pro wrestling.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely.
And what else? Oh, Hulk Hogan. Hogan claimed on the Howard Stern show. I see the look on your face right now. Hogan claimed on the Howard Stern show that Aronofsky offered him the lead role of Randy the Ram at first, but Aronofsky shot that down. No, that's not even true. It's a rumor that he started. And it was one of the Wild Samoans, Ava Anoa'i.
Yeah, I know him.
He trained Mickey Rourke in order
to get ready for
this, get in shape, to know his way around the ring, the lingo.
Yeah.
That's why he looks so immersed in it when the actual finished product is in there.
Absolutely. Shout out to Afro, man. He's a legend. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Rourke, he ain't no method actor, but he definitely brought the heat with this.
Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, plenty of wrestlers. The wrestling world, for the most part, loved it. Bret Hart, he loved it, but gave a few criticisms saying not every wrestler follows the path of Randy the Ram. Not every wrestler ends up like that.
True.
I was a world champion. I didn't.
True. But Bret, you're an anomaly, bro. But a lot of them take this path.
Yeah, a lot of them take that path.
Yeah, Bret is an anomaly, man.
I mean, you weren't into the whole sex, drugs, and rock and roll thing. Right. You weren't part of the clique.
Kind of clean cut, yeah. So I hear him, but I don't even want to call it majority, but a good chunk of them followed this path. So I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, Tony Atlas. When we were in high school, I remember watching MTV Ultrasound, right? And this is during the Attitude Era, like summer of '99.
Yeah.
They were looking at pro wrestlers like behind the scenes. They looked at Triple H in China, may she rest in peace.
Yeah, for sure.
Badass Billy Gunn, and Tony Atlas, who with the Rocky Johnson, the Rock's father.
Dad
was the first black tag team champions in the WWF.
Nice.
But Tony Atlas at that point, he fell downhill. He wasn't Randy the Ram, but he was doing a lot of similar things, like doing wrestling shows and
Were there any other black wrestling tag team champions after them in WWF? I'm trying to remember if anybody stood out that were black.
Men on a Mission.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Mo and Mabel.
Yeah, Mo and Mabel. Mm-hmm. Yeah, in the '90s. That's right. Yeah, but keep going. Sorry. That just kind of forced me to think back and see if there were any others after him. But yeah, they were one.
Yeah, but Tony Atlas was doing wrestling shows in banquet halls, high school gymnasiums, just like Randy the Ram Rose, small shows for like the legends of wrestling. It's like when we covered the movie Nope, and we talked about how child stars can be spectacles, and Hollywood just brings them in and chews them out when they're done. Yeah. Well, same thing with pro wrestling. They have a limited shelf life.
So true. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, once you're no longer able to do this business no more, it's like, okay, you're gone. No severance pay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the worst part.
And Randy the Ram, he has bad health, heart problems.
Yeah, they don't have no insurance.
No health insurance. Dude lives in a trailer park in North Jersey.
Yeah.
What's it called? He blew all his money away on sex, drugs, and rock and roll in the 80s. Fame got to his head. And in the beginning of the film, they show like a montage of all of his. It's clearly Photoshopped from WWF and WCW old stuff.
Yeah.
Because you even see a WWF Randy the Ram action figure up in there.
Yeah, that was like the like just like the old, like
the old ones,
the old ones,
where they like show like the arm moving.
Yeah.
Ram Jam move included.
Yeah, exactly.
And we saw the Mega Powers explode. We see that in there.
See that in there, yeah.
Against him and the Ayatollah, who's
Yeah.
Ernest the Cat Miller plays the Ayatollah, which is a takeoff the Iron Sheik. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Shout out to him. Another legendary heel.
And also the music of the film too. They use a lot of hair metal in the film.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
You hear it. And
from the '80s and stuff.
From the '80s, yes, you hear Rat, Motley Crue, Cinderella.
Yeah. I definitely remember that. Yeah.
Firehouse and Guns N' Roses, the song that Randy the Ram uses for his entrance,
yeah.
"Sweet Child of Mine."
Yeah.
Trivia about that, right quick. He actually got Axl Rose just let them use it free of charge because when he saw a screening of the film or a little bit of footage, he was like. He was so moved, it's like, okay, "Sweet Child of Mine, y'all can use that free of charge."
You got this. Yeah. That's what's up.
And
that is what's up.
And Bruce Springsteen, of course, they got to have Bruce Springsteen in here. He's Jersey to his core.
Oh yeah, 100.
He has that song, "The Wrestler," at the end of the film.
Okay.
And he's always talking about blue collar stuff and how and his home state in New Jersey. So yeah, it would be criminal not to include him in this.
Yeah, definitely.
Although, on a side note, it doesn't include on Disney Plus with Miss Marvel, which takes place in Jersey, why they didn't include no Jersey rappers up in there, or no Jersey rap music. Redman, Joe Budden, Fuji, Sign.
Yeah.
All New Yorkers from across the bridge.
Yeah. Real talk. Yeah.
Anything you got?
So I was about to say, I thought it was very interesting, his relationship with his daughter, that aspect.
Oh, that was...
So it was tough to watch.
That was tough. I mean, once they're smiling and everything, I'm just like, this is not gonna go well. This is not gonna go well, and it didn't.
Yeah. It reminded me of some of the real wrestlers. Like I know Ric Flair had issues with his kids at one point because he was actually living the lifestyle of his gimmick.
Yeah.
He was never home.
Wheeling, dealing, styling, profiling.
Yeah, he was actually living that life. It was bigger than the gimmick, and like he didn't spend significant time with his family and his kids, and it affected their relationship down the line.
And that's why he was still working all these years, and he had his last match this year.
Yeah, and I was just about to say, even to add to that, like how Mr. Rourke's character kept fighting despite his health. You also saw that happen a few times with Hogan, Flair.
But they never got reduced to indie promotion.
They didn't. But like Hogan still had a bad hip, and he'd still come back and do shows and stuff like that.
A lot of these wrestlers, they do that. They do it for the crowd at the expense and for money at the expense of their health.
So it's kind of crazy. But yeah, he was kind of forced to do it because he had no money. So.
What else? Oh, the trivia. Some trivia. The landlord in the trailer park, Lenny, is played by Mark Margolis. Hector Salamanca.
Oh, yeah.
From
Breaking Bad. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Legendary. Good show.
Marisa Tomei. Yeah. What's it called?
Your girl.
Not one of them.
Yeah, one of them.
You still fine. Even though that movie is 15 years old now, you are still fine.
Yeah, I guess. I haven't seen it today, so. But yeah, keep going.
What else? He also talked about like wrestling events that are like parallels to like the big pay-per-view events. Like what's it called? When he talks about his injuries with Marisa Tomei's character, he talks about how he had a 2x4 split his bicep right here from Mr. Congeniality.
Oh, I think I remember that scene. Yeah.
Oh, and the wrestling matches in the film. The wrestling matches. The first one we see where he fights Tommy Rotten, and we get to see the behind-the-scenes shit, like when they're stretching, putting tape on, breaking razors,
the blades, yeah,
hiding the blades on,
That was interesting, That was very interesting.
And hearing them talk about the falls and whatnot, how they're gonna do it, and it's
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm like, you guys are really a warm bunch backstage.
Yeah. I think that's what happened in real life.
It does.
So it's like,
and it seems like more of a camaraderie at these smaller indie shows than there is in the big league locker room.
In the big one, yeah.
And during his Randy's talk with Tommy Rotten, where he talks about, you got a lot of ability, man. A lot of ability.
Yeah.
The guys who drive the Cadillacs, politics, they're the ones who run the show, but you just hang in there now, man.
Yeah. It's kind of how they do talk to the up-and-comers. Like, you got a lot of potential. Just keep going what you're doing, and you're going to get there, that type of thing.
And he came with it in that match, and so did Rourke.
Yeah.
It's like I thought he was going to fuck something up or just like injure somebody or himself. his Ram Jam move, the Ram Jam off the top rope.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
That's Chris Benoit's move. Or flying headbutt, really.
Yeah, his was the flying headbutt, if I remember quite well, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Shout out to Benoit. Well, rest in peace.
As much as we can say about him.
Yeah, because I know he's been canceled, more or less, but rest in peace. Yeah, I mean, he clearly had CTE. So,
Second match, the hardcore match against the Necro Butcher. How was that dude never in ECW? I looked him up. He was never been in ECW. Yeah. How?
Those matches, those kind of matches make me cringe, though.
That's not wrestling.
They're sick to me.
That's not wrestling to me.
It's
an actual fight.
It's like barbaric. The people actually love that stuff, man. That's what makes me like. It's almost on the cusp of like watching gladiators in the Roman times. Dude. It's just not entertainment to me, man. It's sick.
I mean,
it's sick.
Some hardcore match that was some ECW hardcore.
Yeah, those kind of matches I can't do, man.
Yeah, like
they're like, even to me, they're 10 times worse than UFC, because UFC it's more so like skilled martial arts.
Skilled martial arts. They're not taking anything they can find and breaking over you.
Yeah, they're not like
glass.
They're not literally trying to kill you using like glass and like barbed wire
or any household items. Yeah,
it's sick, dog.
And you see the match. I'm sure Mickey Rourke added the realism. Like, yeah, do the staples for real.
Yeah. I was like,
I mean, I know you want to give a good performance, but stapling your chest?
It's sick, dog.
And you probably did have a real heart attack too when that whole event was over.
Yeah, I've never really been a fan of those type of matches ever.
I'm like, I hope you got paid good money. Well, he did get paid good money for that, actually.
Even like when Mankind used to do them joints, I was never like really into those type of matches.
Boiler room matches.
Yeah, the boiler room matches and like the thumbtacks and yeah, when he fought Taker
at Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, I mean it was a crazy match, but I just
you don't like to see them actually get hurt or literally hurting themselves.
Come on, dog.
I mean, yeah, they do cut themselves when they think no one's looking and whatnot, and when they can do it discreetly.
Yeah.
But
that I could do that, but like the thumbtacks and then the barbed wires and then like
that's Johnny Knoxville jackass shit.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what that is. I can't mess with that shit, dog. It's too barbaric for me.
You remember at the 2002 VMAs, the MTV VMAs, where Johnny Knoxville, Steve-O, and I forget the other dude's name. They were presenting the award for best rap video, and Eminem won. And M gets on stage like, "Yo, this dude right here really did staple himself. How you doing, man? Good. You good?" I'm like,
I don't even remember that.
I'm like, Shady, you talk about worse shit on record, and this makes you cringe?
I know, right? Well, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a record.
Just a record, yeah. But if you're crazy enough to think it.
Gonna do that shit. Oh, yeah, that's true, too. So, yeah.
His daughter, was she a lesbian in the film?
Yeah,
I got that vibe.
I think she was.
Yeah. Her girlfriend did not like Mickey Rourke's.
No, at all. Man.
I mean, from the looks of it, it's like she told her plenty about him.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the mother must have passed away a very long time ago.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Because that would explain her animosity towards her father.
Towards their dad.
Because that was her only living parent.
Yep. And then the fact that he was absent during her
most
tough times. Yeah, and then her tough times and her mourning period and, all that. She definitely had some resentment towards him.
Mm-hmm. So she's like, "You are a fuck up. Listen to me."
Yeah. I mean, I get it though.
I get it. She's not wrong to be resentful,
absolutely.
Especially when he disappointed her this final time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he left her hanging.
But at the same time, it's like he felt depressed because of what happened with Cassidy.
Yeah.
How that fell apart at the strip club. So he went out to a wrestling event and met some girl at a bar who likes firemen and who wanted to party, do some blow.
Yeah.
They must have partied all night because he went home and slept all day.
Yeah.
Missed his daughter's the dinner they were supposed to have.
Yeah.
And to show how far behind the times he really is, how stuck he is, he even has an old Nintendo.
Yeah, he wanted to be playing an old Nintendo with the little kids.
Yeah, what's it called?
Kid was like, "Yeah, it's time to go."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you ain't got Call of Duty. Fuck this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and they actually made a Nintendo game specifically for the movie.
Yeah, the wrestling game they were playing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With Randy the Ram in there.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah.
And even the final match against the Ayatollah, played by Ernest the Cat Miller. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the ending speech he gave. The speech that Mickey Rourke's character gave right before the match. Right. Mm-hmm. I may not be as pretty as I used to be. I don't hear so good. I forget things. But you're all my family. This is where I belong. I love you. I'm like, that's kind of parallels Rourke's career a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's also a farewell speech too, considering how the movie ended.
Yeah, exactly.
He died.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
And you see the Ayatollah pleading, Ram, we gave them enough. Pin me. Come
on.
on.
Just pin me. Yeah. It just kept going.
No, it kept going. And even with Cassidy gone,
yeah,
it's like, damn, dude, you got nothing else.
That's that. Yeah, he just felt like he had nothing to lose at this point.
And he said it himself. The ring, the wrestling world, that's where he belongs at. Really, I mean, the real world.
That's his home. Yeah.
That's his home. The real world, he gets hurt out there. He's a fuck up. It's like
he just feels outcasted.
It's like Denzel in the movie Flight. The only place where he's ever in control, anything is in the cockpit of a commercial airliner.
Yeah.
Or Jeremy Renner in The Hurt Locker. He can't stand being back home. He can't adjust.
He's gotta be in the war.
Yeah, he re-enlists to go for another year toward duty disarming bombs. And when he's there, he's got swagger. Puts on the bomb suit, walking down the Iraqi street like a superhero. Like, okay, this is what you want to do.
The psychology of that is interesting.
It is. The deli scene too, actually. The second deli. The first deli scene.
With the girl?
No.
What scene is that one?
Okay, when he asked for more shifts at the deli, right? And that asshole boss of his.
Oh, yeah, okay, I remember that. Yeah,
I need some more shifts. What, did they raise the price of tights?
Yeah.
I'm waiting for him to punch you in the face.
That's messed up, though. Yeah, I remember that.
And you up here watching porno in your office, you demand that he knock? Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, seriously.
And when he gives him the shifts and Randy starts walking to the tracking shot, they show him walking to the deli counter, but from behind the grocery store, in the storage room, it looks like they make it sound like a wrestling event, like he's coming out of the crowd.
Like from the aisle or whatever.
Yeah. And he actually enjoyed that shit at first. I mean, having fun with the customers, even though it was clearly ad-libbed. Like, what do you want? 2 breasts? 2 big breasts. That's what I want.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
2 big breasts in the brain.
Yeah, exactly.
Go long, buddy.
Yeah.
But after everything collapses for him and he just doesn't want to be recognized and that old lady keeps annoying him, potato salad, a little more, a little less, a little less, a little more. Okay, hold up. Here, a little less.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd be annoyed too. And that dude recognized him. He deliberately cut his hand on that thing.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. He's like, Randy,
definitely.
And he kirked out. It was too much for him.
Yeah. That's basically his way of quitting.
I said basically, I fucking quit.
Yeah.
And started ram jamming all the cereal boxes and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly.
And Cassidy, when she quit too, right? Here's another thing.
Yeah.
Rourke's character, he doesn't like being called by his real name, Robin Ramzinski. You don't like being called Robin.
I didn't even catch that. Yeah.
But what's her face? Cassidy. Her real name is Pam.
Pam in there.
She goes either way. But by the end of the film, when she quit, she starts saying to herself, Pam, as though to remind herself of what her real identity is.
Yeah, who she really is. Yeah, she was also affected by her career. She felt like she felt a sense of shame or lack of self-esteem, especially when Rourke was like actually really interested in her.
She's like, "What the hell do you want with me? I got a kid.
Yeah.
I'm old. You don't want that baggage."
Yeah.
And she lashed out at him to make him back off. She clearly had feelings though.
She did. She liked him too. She just
went about it the wrong way.
Yeah.
And when she saw her kid playing with the action figure of Randy the Ram that he gave her, yeah, she I guess that's what made her have a change of heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like we said, he died in the ring. He died doing what he loved to do.
Absolutely. Yeah, again, for me, like it was an easy watch. I wasn't shocked. As depressing as the movie was, I wasn't depressed because I hadn't seen, but I'm aware of several wrestlers' lives, real lives that were pretty much similar, if not worse than that. So it's just kind of like, yeah, this is how wrestlers really usually, live their lives post their peak.
Yeah, after
their prime, or whatever.
Right after.
Yeah. So, but it's a good movie.
Yeah, and
it's a good movie.
And also, Rowdy Piper, when he saw, he rest in peace.
Yeah.
When he saw the wrestler, a lot of wrestlers saw. When he saw it, reportedly he broke down and cried in Mickey Rourke's arms. Like, thank you for telling our story.
Yeah. Because he had a similar one too, actually. So exactly, he had a similar, path.
And Jim Cornette, he hated the film. But I'm like, what? Did you convince yourself that it was written by Vince Russo?
I know, for real. Seriously.
What else?
I also like recommend kids watch that movie.
If they're going to be in the pro wrestling.
Because a lot of kids aspire to be pro wrestlers, and
they see the glamour. Yeah, and they see the. They see the they don't see
glory. They just see the glamour and the glory.
I don't know about the glamour so much, but like the larger than life figures and whatnot.
Yeah.
And how they're damn near superhuman, like titans, gods. That's how they were for me when I was growing up.
That's exactly. They were like superheroes, like comic books, like comics.
But real life.
Like in real life. So like, but we were so aloof or unaware of what was going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, like
so
even at another scene in the movie at the meet and greet. Where Randy the Ram's signing autographs for, there's a point in there where he looks around and sees all these wrestlers all broken down from years. We see tired and wheelchair-bound wrestlers.
So we saw some of them too when we went to the little thing a couple of years ago.
The Legends of Wrestling joint over in the MCW. We saw Lex Luger. He was in a wheelchair.
He used to be larger than life with all the muscles. Now
the torture rack.
Yeah.
And they even showed a guy with a prosthetic foot, which is a clear nod to the Texas Tornado.
Yeah, there you go. There you go, man. So yeah, because this is this kid that I mentor. He watches wrestling. He's a big fan of wrestling. At one point he wanted to be a wrestler. I was like, no, you don't.
You don't.
Yeah, no, you don't.
Unless you ain't got no family and got a high tolerance for pain. You don't want that.
You don't want that life, man. This shit is not good.
Yeah, you're Triple H. Triple H during that. Remember that show Tough Enough, where MTV, where the wannabe pro wrestlers.
Yeah, I remember that very well.
Yeah, that very episode where he was a guest on there, right? And this is weeks after he had that quad surgery on his leg or whatever after that match with Chris Jericho. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's talking to the wrestlers. They're in awe of him at first. He's like, "How you guys doing? Taking a few bumps? You're injured? Big fucking deal. Get in the ring." Give them the reality of the business. Really,
it's real. It's hard.
Yeah, it's like even if you're hurt, unless you got like an injury leaves you.
You make you pretty much immobile.
Yeah, like a broken arm or something, a broken leg.
Yeah,
you're expected to perform.
Yeah, exactly.
And he also said the other reality of it is like, if you're a parent, if you're a husband, you're on the road over 200 days out of the year. What's your wife and your kid doing? You don't know. So when you do get home, you got to be super dad and super husband.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like
very unrealistic.
Mm-hmm. He's like, if you want to be in this business, you got to respect it and love it. He does. I mean, it worked out well for him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's had ups and downs at Triple H.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, the curtains call incident. Yeah, he was the only one that got punished for that for a few years.
Yeah.
Now look at him. He married into the boss's family.
He's rich.
And he runs the company now.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's a good movie. Definitely.
Good movie. Check it out.
Yeah.
Like we said, it's depressing, but the performances, they'll overshadow that. And you'll find some bright spots up in there, too.
Yeah. Definitely check it out. And for the young ones that want to be wrestlers, check it out, too. Mm-hmm. Get a glimpse of what that real life looks like.
What you're in store for.
Yeah.
All right, what's up next? Shaka Zulu.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, written by Josh Sinclair. The series was based on his 1985 book of the same name. It debuted in 1986, and it was directed by William C. Fowler and Sinclair. He wrote it as well too, every episode for the South African Broadcasting Company. Yeah, the series focuses on the on the rise of the Zulu and their leader Shaka, his wars, and the British administration that was in there at the time. The series consisted of 10 episodes of approximately nearly 1 hour each. It was based on the story of the king of the Zulu, Shaka, who reigned from 1816 to 1828, and the writings of the British traders with whom he interacted with. It also covered the broader Mfecane period alongside the rapid expansion of the Zulu tribe. The story is primarily told in flashbacks, really, by Dr. Henry Finn, who was an Irish doctor who became a Zulu.
Yeah.
Harmony Gold USA, which is an American TV and film production company, they partly funded and distributed Shaka Zulu in spite of all the economic sanctions at the time on South Africa.
Oh. Yeah, during apartheid.
The disinvestment from South Africa, And the cast had Henry Saleh as Shaka, Edward Fox as Lieutenant Francis Farewell, Robert Powell as Dr. Henry Finn, who was also the narrator, Trevor Howard as Lord Charles Henry Somerset. What's it called? We're going to talk about the historical accuracy, the performances, the culture clashes, and definitely the racism up in there.
Yeah, Henry Shield was actually a professional soccer player.
Oh yeah,
but he transitioned into movies as well. So I know this was not the only movie he did, but
it wasn't. But he also did he also reprised this role for like a remake or like a continuation of Shaka Zulu. Like when was it? 10 years ago?
10 years ago.
Or
he's
last
dead
year?
now. Rest in peace, by the way.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he's not alive anymore.
R.I.P.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a lot. It's good. It's a good show. It's a good mini
series,
if you want to call it that. That illustrates like how consuming power can be
on both sides of the fence.
Exactly, and like greed. But also it also illustrates like how amazing one's vision can be if like you stay disciplined and actually put in work. Because the Zulu Empire was basically his vision. It was before him. I mean, the Zulu tribe was there, the empire was there before, but he took it to the next level because he had a vision. And it expanded and was a huge threat to the English Empire.
In
southern South Africa, so they had to use other tactics than just straight up warfare. Because if they hadn't just done it through straight warfare, they would have been defeated.
Snowfall said it best. Anytime black folks organize, you know how scared the American government
gets.
Yeah.
It's exactly. It's almost the same thing. So they had to use the chess game to stall and get in, and that's basically how they got the best of him. Because he wanted more.
Smart as he is, they took advantage of his greed.
They did.
And even the racism in that was depicted in there, like the very first episode when they show like when was it 1880?
Yeah, when they didn't even know the current king spoke English.
Spoke good English. Understood every word they say.
Yeah, they understood.
They talk about him. They talk around him like he doesn't understand, like he's a monkey.
Exactly.
And look how shocked they are when they find out
he spoke. They're like, oh shit. He
heard us.
Yeah.
And the queen's like, yeah, all y'all can bounce now.
Yeah, exactly. Basically,
because the queen knew.
She knew. Yeah.
She was waiting for him to make them look foolish. Which on some level shows she respects him.
Yeah, to some extent. But yeah, it's unfortunate, and that's why I don't know how. I'm guessing that was somewhat historically accurate, that epilogue, but they basically dissolved the empire so it became small again. Because what he did was every time he would conquer, he would assimilate the territory and the prisoners into the army. And that's why they were expanding in such big volumes.
Yeah, it's like corporate takeover.
Yeah, basically. So like the English Empire knew they didn't have, because they were all over the world, they didn't have enough soldiers to come and successfully fight the Zulu Empire. So what they did was, all right, we're gonna try and negotiate and stall, and then that's how the success.
That's the chess game.
Yeah, the chess game. That's how they were able to win that chess game eventually. Because after he realized that he wasn't going to live eternally, and his mom had passed, and everything they sold him was a lie. He gave everything up. Like he had no intention. Like he felt like his vision was up in flames. So he left his people hanging, like he banned like harvests. So his people were starving. That's why they killed him. People were starving, basically.
I feel like a desperate power move.
Yeah. He had lost his mind, basically. Basically, he had lost his mind.
The Mad King.
Yeah. So it was a sad fall, but it was beautiful to watch his rise to prominence. And like, when I was a kid and I watched the movie, I enjoyed more of the warrior aspect and the warfare. And
so did I. So I didn't know nothing about the historical accuracy.
Yeah.
I was a kid then. I didn't care about none of that.
Yeah. But like watching it as an adult, there's so many things that I love about that show or miniseries. It's like the culture. I love like the culture, the festivities, the dances, the not even costumes. There's actually the garb, exactly. The rituals, all that is just beautiful to me. I enjoyed all of that. And even now, like I follow a lot of like African platforms on Instagram, and like there's one that does little segments of reels of different parts of Africa. Like the other day, I saw one on the Zulus.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff they were doing was still very much what was going on, like some of the dances and stuff.
They keep the tradition alive.
Yeah. So it was beautiful to see the harmonies and all that. And stuff.
In this case, Eric Bischoff, I'm against you. Tradition doesn't bite.
Right. But it's also interesting to also acknowledge how he ruled in fear. Like people were dead scared of him. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Even the English folk. Even the English were scared of him.
Yeah, and that one white dude, the doctor that he brought into the tribe, where he showed him how to write and whatnot.
Yeah.
Even he was shook by him.
Yeah, they were all scared. And like even during the chess game, they were like, we need to keep him engaged as long as possible because the moment he feels like he has no use for us, he's gonna kill us.
Yeah.
So yeah, that went back and forth. But I think another good thing about that miniseries was the good character development of the different characters in the miniseries, like his mom.
He's got several half brothers.
Yeah, several half brothers.
One of them tried to kill him,
which is normal.
Back then, for African.
Yeah, my dad has several. Like if you know real African like people that live in Africa.
Look at Barack Obama.
Like, because the man always had different wives, many wives. So like
Barack Obama Sr. He has several.
He has
children.
several. Yeah, it's normal for in African culture. Not so much anymore now, post colonization, because now we are more so like a lot of us are more Anglo-Christian or
monogamous.
Muslim, and even the Muslim ones, not a lot. Some of them are, Islam, where you can marry more than one wife and stuff like that. But in general, it's more monogamous. So a lot of them also still got side kids from the there's still infidelity and stuff, but it's not nearly as accepted as it was.
Yeah, nowadays you got to keep it secret.
Yeah, as back in the day. So,
back then people took care of all their kids. Yeah, even their illegitimate ones.
And like African culture in the core of it, when they say it takes a village to raise a child, that's basically what was going on.
And
it still goes on today to some extent, but that's the whole concept. That's why, like at that time or those times, none of it seemed weird. It was always in white culture. It's weird.
It's weird, yeah, because they don't do that.
Yeah, in African culture, literally the village raises the child, and that's why there's a big. If you go to Africa or you're around African traditional families, you get to see the sense of respect for seniority, because traditionally at home, like
it's strict. They strictly do that.
Yeah, like it's not only your parents that are generally raising you, like your aunt or the lady down the street is also.
It takes a village.
Yeah, it takes a village. So like there's a big emphasis on respect for your elders and stuff like that.
Because one day they'll be elders too.
Exactly. Which is it's a gift and a curse. That's another discussion. Mm-hmm. But yeah. So as you were saying, like he had several half brothers.
One tried to kill him, and one got made into king at one point.
While
he was trying to train that army of his.
Exactly.
Oh, you're king. I'm gonna take you.
Yeah,
out.
exactly. Took him out. Mm-hmm. So they. A lot of the hate was mainly because they hated his mom. And because his dad's first son was him, so he was entitled to the throne.
Oh yeah. Was he his mom's firstborn child as well too?
Yeah.
Okay, yes, he's first for both of them.
He's first for both of them, but she was not his real wife per se. She was a harem. He had her out of wedlock. He had Shaka out of wedlock, and that was like an abomination. So if you realize at the beginning, like earlier, before when he was a child and stuff, his dad used to send people to try and assassinate her. If you remember quite well.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Yeah, so that's why there was so much beef that continued on even after he became king. There was still a lot of animosity even between his aunt, his dad's sister, that lived so long. She loved him though because she realized his importance to she was always about the people.
Right.
And his importance to the people, the well-being of the Zulus and stuff. But then after he lost his mind, she realized he was a detriment to the people. That's why she organized and orchestrated his assassination. Yeah. But yeah, like every time I watch that joint, I discover or fall upon something new or conceptually.
And you've watched it more than I have. I mean, this is the first time I've watched it since I was a child.
Yeah, it was one of my favorites as a kid. So every now and then I'd rewatch it. And growing up, as I was rewatching it, there'd be concepts or things that you're more conscious about as an adult, or that you realize are relevant to today's world, with politics and race and culture and that stuff.
They all have like something of not a genesis, but like early prototypes.
Yeah, exactly.
Back then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Same thing with shows like Game of Thrones and House of Dragons.
There you
Politics.
go. A lot of politics in there. So.
And the message: don't trust nobody.
Basically.
Not implicitly.
Yeah. Shaka, he had what you call it, signs to realize that he was getting gypped. Even his counselors and his witch doctor was trying to tell him that the white people were no good for him, but he was so consumed by greed. He was
Power,
just
like silence. I'll have no one to lecture
exactly. You're not gonna lecture me. If you try to do it again, I'm gonna kill you. That type of thing.
Yeah, even if you are right.
Right, and he realized that's why, like at the last episode, he's replaying all that where they're warning him, like, "Yo, these Bammers are no good for you. They're trying to trick you and stuff." By that time, it's too late. He's crying because he's now like
he's got nothing now.
Regret.
Now he realized.
Yeah, exactly. Killed his own kid because he thought his kid was going to rise like he did to his dad.
That's a Greek mythology shit. Like, what's it called?
Yeah.
Cronus and Zeus.
Yeah.
When Cronus ate all of his children because it was prophesied that one's going to be king and kill me. Fuck that.
I don't know how historically accurate that is because he did have more kids.
But he did try to kill that one.
But yeah, he did try to kill that one. And apparently that one was supposed to continue the prophecy or whatever in terms of their religion or whatever. Because he was a kid of a prophecy, which is why he was like the chosen kid that was supposed to lead the Zulus. He was deemed never to die in war, but he would be killed by his own spear, by his own people, basically.
That leads to some level of ego right there.
Yeah, exactly.
If I was born as a prophesized chosen one and heard that my whole life and treated
and
such,
that's why he was the way he was.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
They hyped his head up, made him a big-headed baby like Stewie Griffin.
Exactly. So like, his vision was a gift and a curse. But at the end of the day, he's still a historical legend in the world, in the African world.
Yes.
Like the several tribes or kingdoms. He's one of the prominent kings of African past and history. So.
And even so ingrained in pop culture that even when you hear the word Zulu or Zulu Nation or Zulu tribe, you think of Shaka Zulu.
Shaka, yeah, 100%. And because of him, they are the most, I guess, popular tribe in South Africa. They have a lot of them too, but they're the most popular. Yeah. So, but I love the show or miniseries. I recommend people watch it, even though
it's very real. I mean, they'd even show little kids running around in tears after a massacre.
Yeah.
Like, that's hard for me to look at. I don't like seeing nothing happen to no kids.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, it's cool. It's cool to see. It's obviously a historical piece, so it's good to see how everything like evolves from just small little tribes having allies and enemies to like one big empire that was just literally conquering and assimilating tribes along the way, and eventually that paramount tribe was dissolved by the British Empire because they were afraid of it rising up again and being a threat again.
Historically, weren't the Dutch in what's it called, South Africa before the Brits?
The Brits overthrew them.
Oh, okay.
Same thing in like other areas, like in Ghana, we're a British colony, but they weren't the first. They drove out the Portuguese. The Portuguese were like literally, if not the first colonizers of Africa.
They were right there.
They were there first, and they started as gold traders and stuff like that.
Gold salt trade.
Exactly. And then the English and French came down the line. English and French, but like they would, like you said, like the Dutch were also there at one point, and they were overthrown.
Because plenty of white South Africans still have Dutch surnames.
Yeah, they were driven out basically by their UK rivals and stuff. So that's basically why, like, you go there, you now see the either francophone or anglophone, and there's a few snippets here of like Portuguese influence, like Angola and stuff, and like you can see there's a few areas where Germany was present and Belgium, but primarily England and France literally were the ones, like the superpowers that run. And they were cautious because they knew if the tribe was a threat, they were at a disadvantage because it was guerrilla warfare. So what they would do is they'd use rival tribes to help fight them, or they would use the chess angle.
Yeah, get them comfortable, and then when they are, strike.
Exactly. Because especially the Zulus and their numbers, it was like suicide going to war, just straight head to head with them. Given that they had a lot of their army in India and other areas, they didn't have enough numbers to literally annex and take that out, so they had to use other.
Yeah, they had to use whatever that one option at their disposal, and it worked.
But I also thought it was interesting what ended up happening to like Francis Farewell, that he became a nomad.
Yeah.
Because he literally became Zulu. He was playing both sides, and then they both disowned him. So he was like, I need to go read or Google, find out what became of him, because he was literally a nomad by the end of the movie.
That reminded me of that book, Light in the Forest, where the white kid, he gets taken by a Native American tribe, is raised by them.
Yeah.
But then a treaty happens that forces the Native Americans to give back all the white children they stole. And he can't assimilate into the white family that he was born into. And then what's it called? A war is about to happen between the whites and the Indians, and he basically snitches on both. And he's exiled from both.
Wow. Yeah, that's basically kind of like Francis. Because he came back with his experience going back and forth with Shaka. He came back to England trying to convince the British Empire to approach this in a form of diplomacy where you have like ambassadors and stuff.
Yeah.
They're like, nah, they're still savages. He's like, nah, you don't know.
No, they're not. I got first-hand experience.
Exactly.
I've seen them. Y'all haven't.
And then they weren't trying to hear it. So he's like, you know what? All right, I'm no longer English. I'm Zulu. I'm going back. So
like F y'all.
Yeah. Because he was also promised like ivory and stuff because he wanted to start his own business after all that was said and done. So I wonder how that went, considering that.
You the history buff, you tell us.
Yeah, I gotta go. That's what I'm saying. I gotta go do research and find out whatever happened to Francis Farewell, because he was supposed to inherit like mad ivory and whatever. When he came back and he saw the place was upside down, because when he left, everything was good. Shaka's mom was alive.
Right.
You know, all that was going well, and then he comes back. Shaka's mom is dead. There's like a famine because Shaka has banned like growing crops and stuff like that and milking.
He sends people to death because he's crazy.
Yeah, he had lost. So he's like, yo, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
So he walks and he's like, all he's seeing is death and like remnants of like fires and shit like that.
Yeah, he lost his mind at that point.
Yeah, and then he goes and he has the discussion with Shaka and he's like, yeah, go. I have no further purpose for you. So I wonder if whoever inherited the Zulu Empire stayed true to Shaka's word and like, yo, these are your
he's
elephants.
exiled.
Yeah, these are your elephants.
Yeah, they're exiled. They will forever remain exiled.
Right,
or if
right.
they had like a new policies in the newer King's administration.
Yeah, so it's interesting. But I definitely loved the miniseries and the development of characters gives you a human element to some of the different parts. Like the death of his mom was a little touching.
I like the culture parts.
Yeah, the culture parts are dope too.
Episode 8, when Shaka finally realizes what the Irish doctor, Dr. Wynn, was trying to show him with the written word.
Yeah,
he finally was like, okay.
Okay, to start writing my story.
It's like legacy power.
Yeah, legacy power, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, and then having them figure out what's the deal with this Jesus God that they're following. So, let your God Jesus fight for your God Jesus. You fight for your God Jesus, or you fight for me. Well, at this point, since I have the power to take your life, I think I'm your God, more or less. So,
like he's not wrong.
Yeah. So
not entirely.
He's a pragmatic guy. So
yeah, exactly.
So,
Pragmatism. Yes.
Yeah. So he's not wrong. But yeah.
Yeah, because we can't say that he's right. He's not wrong sounds better.
Yeah, exactly. Being Christians, you can't just say he's right.
Yeah,
right?
you can't. Yeah.
But yeah, he's not wrong either. It's all about perspective, you know.
If I want to give somebody credit, I'll just say he's not wrong.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, it's a good one. You have anything that you enjoyed or anything you want to add?
What's it called? The final episode where it culminated in Shaka's assassination and how his mindset was in that episode. It's like, good Lord, man. It's like, I'm glad. Well, not glad, but I feel for your people. Yeah. And at the same time, I'm not mad that they elected to kill you.
Yeah. I mean, either.
The way he was acting is like, you kind of had it coming, bro.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it's also very interesting that his whole vision of growing the Zulu army and stuff was also, in addition to that, like, there was another aspect embedded in that, which was avenging everybody that wronged your mother.
Yeah.
Like, everything was predicated on how much he loved his mom and like doing right by her. So when he finally was the catalyst to her death, and she finally died, and he realized that she's not gonna live eternally, it's like part of his purpose was done, and he just lost it.
He lost his way. Yeah.
He just lost it.
His mother was an integral part of who he was.
Yes. Yeah. Very, very much. She was always around him. If you notice, like every pinnacle of his life in that show or series, she's literally right there, like around him.
I almost want to say their relationship was incestual, but I don't.
It wasn't quite, but yeah, it was just a level of respect and like the fact that she had his back.
She was that close to him, yeah.
Yeah, like his dad was trying to kill him.
Yeah,
his
true.
dad disowned him.
She was a mama bear.
Yeah, so she's the one that literally had his back. Her and his grandma. And his grandma happened to die because of the treatment he was getting as a result of what his father did. Mm-hmm. So when he became king again, he's like, all right, everybody that was cool with my dad and was down and disowned us, I'm coming for you. And that's literally what he did.
Mm-hmm. It's like Denzel in The Equalizer. Only regret, I only get to do it once.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And everyone that was like remotely kind, he'd spare.
Yeah.
He'd spare it. Everybody else.
Okay, you just gotta be a little bit kind to me. That's what it takes.
Yeah, exactly.
Just be a little bit nice.
Exactly.
Then I will not kill you.
Yeah. Yeah, he was ruthless though. I ain't gonna lie. As great as he was a ruthless dude, dog.
I like the narrative structure of the series as well too, like the flashbacks and how it gives dates and whatnot.
Yeah.
That's
well
pretty cool.
Put together. Yeah, well put together. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I enjoyed it myself too. In fact, can I keep those DVDs a little bit longer?
Yeah. Thank you. You good, man. You good.
Like you, I want to catch the things that I might have missed.
Yeah. Anytime you rewatch it, you're gonna catch. Now that you know the story, like you know how everything goes. Mm-hmm. When you rewatch it, you're gonna find little other details. Like, oh, okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Because a lot of the good TV series, they are just full of those, and it's like that's what gives them good replay value.
Yeah, exactly.
Even double
years
decades
later.
later.
Yeah, years later after you rewatch. Yeah. So, yeah, man. But yeah, definitely recommend you guys. I even think if you don't own it or you don't have any platform to stream it, I think it's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube, the whole thing.
You can actually watch it all on YouTube. So
yeah,
go ahead. It's good.
Yeah, check it out. Shaka Zulu was really good. It's a good refresher for those of you who haven't seen it in several years, and some good introductory for those who don't know nothing about it.
Yeah, for sure. Sure, man.
Indeed.
Yeah. Any last?
What are you about to say?
I guess I didn't really talk much about the racism, but what was your take on it outside of the beginning, the epilogue? Like,
I'm like, it was as expected.
it's as expected.
Although
yep.
some people, like Farewell,
Yeah,
he had a change of heart.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
and so did the doctor.
The Win.
Yeah, Finn, whatever his name is. Yeah.
The Irish dude, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, the only actor in here that I recognized, actually, was Christopher Lee.
Yeah, at the beginning.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mr. Dracula himself, Fu Manchu.
The Wicker Man.
The
OG Wicker Man.
The OG.
Not that Nicolas Cage. Not the Beast!
Yeah. He's a legend. Rest in peace. I think he's dead, too.
Yeah, he is. He died.
Yeah. He
several
was like my staple Dracula as a child. He did so many Draculas.
Yeah, he did.
So,
he was a fun Dracula to watch, too.
Yeah, he was.
Although I think my favorite was Dracula 2000 because of how they gave an origin story to him.
Yeah, that was a good one. I watched that recently, like a year or two ago. I was like, oh, wow.
And in reference to what we were talking about earlier with soundtracks, what's it called? That movie is another example. Well, not an example, but mostly they had actual songs in there inspired by the film. It's like, okay, that's
I got to revisit that to see.
That's good.
To see what prominent songs came from that.
They're like, thank you, because I already got a Taproots record with Again and Again on it. Can you make a new song for this one?
Yeah, man. But the racism aspect for me is as is, and I think it's still the same. It's just more masked. How the West views Africa.
Yeah, they dress up and use certain terms, dog whistle terms.
Yeah, exactly, and dog whistle terms. Behind closed doors.
Or what did Trump call it? A shithole?
Yeah, that's basically how they viewed until they actually interact. Well, some of them still interact and still have the same sentiment, but a lot of them have those preconceived notions.
Yeah, it's like where the hell did you get your knowledge about Africa from? What, Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls?
Bruh, this is how you know this shit is still fucked up. When I first moved here,
yeah,
and even in Westland, the kind of questions I was getting from kids in Westland.
Like, do you live in the jungle or something?
Yeah,
oh, wow.
Like how you know about Pac and Biggie and shit like that. I'm like,
because you had that shirt.
Like how you know, like you don't have that in Africa. I'm like, bro.
Everything's worldwide now, even then.
And it goes back to what I tell people. Like, America is literally floating because of like a good 10% of the population. The rest of the population is so ignorant. If that was the majority that held the country together, this country would have dissolved a long time ago. And I'm just being real.
I told my niece, one of my nieces, a long time ago when she was like 10.
Yeah.
What's it called? She asked me a question about are people actually fooled by some such? And my brother told me not to respond in this way after the fact, but I told Autumn, hell yeah. Americans are dumb people by and large. Yeah. We pretty much believe anything
if you're a well-traveled person, you don't understand what I'm saying. Trust me. Trust me.
I've seen.
There are countries that, you know.
He's traveled more than I have.
Economically aren't like up to par with America, but if you interact with their actual citizens, then you see the difference in intelligence. It's definitely a difference in intelligence when you travel around.
Especially if you go to UK. The metric system, most Americans are not up on that.
Yeah.
Sadly.
We're not the brightest country in the world, as great as we are economically and, you know.
Yeah, and we're not the brightest country. We had Donald Trump as president.
We're not very smart, and I'll just keep it 100. but
I love my country, but at the same time,
America's great. Don't get it twisted.
It.
It's a great country. It is the world's economic leader, all of that. But again, there's 10% of this population that keep it that way. I'm just keeping it, and this is not facts. It's just something it's the number I'm just throwing out there.
The wealthiest 1%.
Yeah, it's a good 10% of its brain is what is holding this country together.
Do we innovate anymore, though? I mean,
yeah, that's another discussion.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, my advice to everybody is just be objective, and I guess to a certain level empathetic, because everybody likes to think like they know everything already, but you be pleasantly surprised. You can learn from everybody, and that's indifferent to your economic status. There's some very smart and bright people in this world that are dirt poor. So you see shit, don't just be judging. Don't judge. Yeah, don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah, that bum on the street corner, he could be an Einstein level genius.
It's a bum that schooled me how to move around in Brazil, bro.
There you go.
Literally, a homeless bum was what gave me game when I was there. So
Just
yeah, man.
gave you enough, taught you how to get around pretty much.
Move around a little bit, like what to look out for and shit.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Because he could have easily gypped you being a tourist.
Yeah. I was just we were just having a conversation. I was having a conversation with a homeless bum, and he was telling me
Watch out for this, that, and the third.
he spoke in his language, in Portuguese. So like my homegirl was from there.
Okay.
And she was just translating it to me. And I was like, oh, good looking out. You my man. and everything he told me was I actually saw for myself.
I mean, that's what I'm going to say. It must have been sound advice.
Yeah, 100%. So be careful out there.
Yeah, be careful.
Stay humble.
Yeah, don't think you know everything. Don't think because you in another country you can just run a fucking muck.
Yeah, stay humble. For sure, man. But yeah, that's all I have with that.
Yeah, we covered 2 things today. Yeah, and we did go over an hour. It's excellent.
Yeah. Pretty good discussion.
Yeah, we had a pretty good discussion. Yeah, this is episode number 10. Yeah, we're in double digits now. We're proud of that.
We're moving.
Yeah, so
we're still very much appreciative of you guys.
Yeah, thank you all you viewers out there. We really appreciate you.
Yeah.
Everybody who follows us on Instagram, our burgeoning other social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. I'm kidding about LinkedIn. But we thank you for following us. We thank you for listening. Friends, family, and everybody else, your fans, we love you. Thank you.
For sure. Those that are just joining and those that have been there from jump. We appreciate all of you guys. Continue to spread the word.
No applause, just throw money.
That helps too. But yeah, love always, man.
Yeah, so episode 10, 301 Colored Commentators, signing off. Peace.